I'm going to be installing the Handlworks BAC855 controller on my Super73 S2. This should give me a little bit more torque, a little bit more top speed. Now I am late to the game because whenever these go on sale, they sell out fast because I believe they're handmade in California. And so I just haven't got my hands on one. Also, I was waiting for a little bit more additional support as far as dual batteries go. As you know, I run a dual battery on my Super 73. And also this has light and turn signal connectors, which I have both of those on my bike. So I'm excited to put this on. Handlworks actually has a nice, concise installation video, but I'm gonna walk you through my experience so you can get an idea what it takes to get this installed. First things first, let's remove my stock battery, because whenever you're messing with electronics, you don't want the battery to be connected. This actually isn't my first time removing a controller. I've actually replaced this controller before. It went out on me once, but we just gotta remove that cover and then the seat, and then that will get us to the screws for the controller. Might as well unscrew the battery connector while I'm at it. Just looking for the 3 screws that hold the seat on. It's a 4mm Allen wrench. Front one's the easiest. 2 screws. And let's see if we can get to this one over here pretty easy. Wedged between the controller. 3 screws, and there we go. So now we got to remove the controller. And one other thing, I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head. Disconnecting some blinkers. What else? I'm gonna disconnect that guy. Another blinker, and can't remember what this is. I'll pop the name of it up on the screen, but it's not the controller. This is the controller, but I have to disconnect it from the motor. Just clip those 2 zip ties and unscrew it. So as you can see, it's nice and bare under there. We just have a bunch of loose connections now. So before I install the Handlworks controller, let's just take a closer look real quick at what your original controller looks like and this module here. It's nice to be reducing it down to one single item. It's always nice to clean things up a little bit. Quick side note, this does void your Super 73 warranty. So if you want to keep that warranty, then don't install this. But I'm excited to see what it does. Just because I'm curious, let's see what kind of weight reduction we're getting here. So that's 1 pound 10 ounces. So we're saving about 8 ounces. Hey, weight reduction is weight reduction. So I've never actually used this before, but it came with this synthetic grease. I think it's called dielectric grease. And they recommend putting it on all your connectors except for the motor connector. And I believe it's to keep things watertight and corrosion resistant. So I'll try it out. Never done this before. All right. Now it's time to connect everything. Off the top of my head, I can't tell you what every connector does. But one thing to note, on these yellow ones, you just gotta line up the colors. So that's green on green, yellow on yellow, and blue on blue. And I think we can pinch those and crimp them in. That's gonna be for my blinkers. Here's the main harness. Gotta be careful to line up the pins and the arrows. I'm gonna send that through this other side there to the motor. And I don't know which blinkers left and right. So that might be a trial by error thing. But yeah, just make sure you're running everything through under the seat. I know it just looks like a mess of wires right now, but it's pretty self-explanatory when you see it. I think we're pretty much hooked up except for my blinkers. I'll worry about that in just a second. And then I actually have an additional step here. So allow me to go on a little bit of a tangent of why ChiBatterySystems is the best battery upgrade for your Super 73. Also, I have it on my Teleria. I was trying to take the Chi battery off for a ride because I just wanted to do a single battery, and it seemed as though the connector got fused together, and I just pulled a little bit too hard and kind of yanked out the bracket that holds on the connector. It didn't ruin the battery at all, but I didn't want to mess with it. So I reached out to Chi Battery support, sent this back to them, and they fixed my battery. And I just got it back just in time to install this. But yeah, that's the Chi Battery Ranger. And if I may, I have a discount code, SESSIONS73. You get 5% off at checkout. So it saves you a few dollars. Also, it helps out the channel if you purchase through my link. But thank you so much for fixing my battery, and can't wait to get riding again. But this is actually what I'm after. So because I run the Chi Battery Ranger, the dual battery setup on my Super 73, I have this splitter. So one end of the splitter goes into the controller, and then the other end runs up to the battery, and then this just runs along and connects to the second battery. And we'll plug this back into the motor. This cable's extra long now. Now we definitely have some cable management to do here. Not as concerned right now. We just need to get this thing mounted. It's just these two screws, and you mount it through the under the seat there, and we should be good to go. So yeah, it's just these two screws here, and it's mounted on there pretty good. So I gotta put my seat back, clean up the cables. Also, got to get rid of the stock diamond or coin display and put on the Handlworks display. So I got to take off the little coin display. This is a 3mm Allen wrench, and it's a tight space because of the handlebars I have on here and where it's located. There we go. Okay, so since we did the weight reduction for the controller and that module, let's see what the difference is between the coin display. That's 1.3 ounces. That's 2.4 ounces. So technically, with that controller off, the new controller on, but this display on, we're actually only saving 7 ounces. So, I don't know. I was just curious. So let's put the new controller right there. I think that'll look pretty good. I said controller, I meant display. There's my connector. I guess since I have a bunch of this leftover grease, might as well use it here too. And we'll plug it in. Let's see where my arrows are. And we'll tighten this up, make sure it's nice and snug. I think that actually looks pretty good right there. Looks like it was meant to be. Okay, so this is the moment of truth. Of course, I haven't done cable management or put my seat back on, but I want to see how this thing fires up. So there's the display right there. I've turned on the battery, hold the display, and it turned on. That's good news. Throttle doesn't do anything. I heard it do something. Maybe it's the class. No? Okay, time to troubleshoot. Okay, so I figured it out. Remember how I said I'd crimp these on later? Look how easy they come disconnected. And one was disconnected after, installing and stuff. So I'm gonna crimp these together. I did a quick throttle test and it went. I'm so excited. So yeah, if you're having issues, check your connections. Oh, and I forgot to check if my blinkers are hooked up right. So you do have to have the lights turned on for everything to work. So you just hold the plus sign, lights come on. Yep, they are plugged in backwards. I'll fix that and then we'll do cable management. It got dark, so I'm not going to do a test ride tonight. That'll give me a chance to charge both batteries because I actually downloaded the firmware. It's called a Flash, and this is the app right here. It's not connected, but you can flash updates to the controller. So the update that I did was to support 2 batteries. So can't wait to test this thing out tomorrow. I did go on a quick little ride. When I was riding, it did cut out on me, like the controller just shut off. So I'm gonna have to look into that a little bit. And then I at least got it all put back together, and we'll check it out more tomorrow. All right, as you can see, it's the next day. Got my Saturday chores done, so it's time to test out the Handlworks BAC855 controller. Everything should be charged up. Let's see what my ChiBattery says. 100%. Shout out to ChiBattery as always. Been a great supporter of this channel. And let's just take this thing for a ride, see what happens. All right, so let's start out with mode 1. This display that you see here on the right hand side, that is connected to Bluetooth to the controller. So it gives us some data there. It's also where you can adjust all the different settings and stuff. But yeah, I have the dual battery flash on here since I have the ChiBattery and the stock battery. So hopefully that's drawing power from both. But yeah, mode 1. Very slow, just that's full throttle. Starting off slow and easy. We'll hit a top speed here, let's see what it is. There's a slight downhill right here, so it might not be completely accurate. Okay, I feel the motor cut off at 20 miles an hour. Even though I'm going 24, I'm not getting anything from the motor. So the stop sign, let's check out mode 2. Again, last night, the controller just completely shut off when I was like full power. Part of me wonders if it was because I had one battery on. Maybe that just was a fail-safe because I had already done the flash. So yeah, this is mode 2. Let's see if I get more torque off of the line here. Still starts out a little slow. Getting a faster top speed though. Okay, I can feel the motor cut out at 28 miles an hour. So that's closer to the stock controller, mode 2. And one thing I didn't test is the pedal assist. I don't know how that kicks in. Let's see. Oh, okay. So it just kicks in with the mode. So that would get me up to the 28 miles an hour. We'll stop here and, well, I'll wait till the stop sign up here. But yeah, pedal assist works, throttle works. One thing I have noticed is I have this aftermarket twist throttle, and the controller actually makes this experience a lot more smooth than the stock controller, and I think that's because you can calibrate it. There's a calibration in the controller. So yeah, let's hit mode 3 here. I think I have enough straightaway. So more power off the line. Still not like super high torque, but this feels closer to the initial torque update Super73 did. But yeah, mode 3, full throttle. Nice straightaway. We'll see how fast I go. 32, 33. This is a slight uphill. I was hoping to get a little bit more. I think I could get up to 38. This still feels faster than the stock, but not much. Maybe there's like a tune or something. I know there's all sorts of adjustments that you can do on this thing. But it does keep that top end speed a little bit longer. And again, that is uphill. So, hard to say. Let's try one more road here. One more straightaway. I will say the setup of it was super easy. Everything was plug and play. So that was nice. And then just have more control over your controller. So this display is telling me my power, my speed. This is a slight downhill right here, so of course I'm gonna go faster. I'm at 36. Let's see if it holds that. 36, 37. Drop down to 35. Holding 35 pretty well. And cutting the power. My battery on here, this display already says 88 on the phone. ChiBattery, what's that saying? 91. So those are in sync pretty well, but the display that comes with it still says 100%. So I don't know how that has any bearing on anything, but let's keep cruising. I will say it's a lot smoother control than the stock controller, and I think that has to do with the throttle calibration. I was hoping to get more top end, but you can just feel the extra power, so my weight might have to have a factor in that too. Another thing to note is that in order, if you have like a blinker kit and a horn kit, it only works when the lights are on. So right now, I don't know if you can see this, but I'm pressing the horn there, it's not going. Turn on the lights and got the horn, so that's that, something to consider. Also, the controller has haptic feedback too. So when you make these adjustments, you can actually feel the controller vibrate. Yeah, definitely more power. I can feel it. Maybe there's some like tunes and stuff too. I was trying to do some research before I started recording, and didn't really see much on this as far as like any custom tunes you can do or anything like that. I'm not really sure the full implications of having this controller. Just kind of jumped into it. I'm always looking for new accessories for my bike, so I got pretty excited when this came out. But yeah, the controller didn't cut out at all. I've hit full power a lot longer than I did initially when it did cut out that first time last night. I'm gonna go right here. And it might have just had something to do with only running the stock battery, even though I had the dual battery flash on here. Yeah, I can feel more power going up these hills and stuff, for sure. It'd be nice to compare it back to a stock Super73. There's got to be some other features on this, and as I learn them, I'll make maybe some videos or some shorts, but this is just plugged in, no adjustments. The only modification I made to the controller is that dual battery flash. Other than that, nothing really. There seems like there's a lot of options in the Kilowatt app. I don't know how much of those apply to the Super73, but definitely a lot of room to learn. I can just feel the power on the top end, like going up these hills and stuff in my neighborhood here. I can feel it. I really can. I'm not just making that up. You know, I've got thousands and thousands of miles, well, not thousands and thousands, but several thousand miles on this S2, having owned it for, what, 3 years, almost 4 years now. Okay, so my phone says 34, and the controller says 35. Or the display. And that definitely felt faster than what it was displaying, so Again, not just trying to like make things up here to confirm that I feel good about this purchase. It is a different riding experience. One thing I don't love, well, okay, it adjusts. The battery percentage on the display seems to be stuck at 100, but on my phone, it's dropping. Now, when I'm off the throttle, it goes back up to probably what the true battery percentage is, but when I'm on throttle, I mean, it's dropped down to 60%. So, right now I'm at 84%. Ridden 1 mile, or 4 miles. So it's probably draining the batteries a little bit faster on this top mode. I think if I was going for range, I'd keep it at the medium setting. I just want to check the full power, feel how this rides, and we'll have to do some range tests with this thing. It enhances the riding experience. It's not like hold on for dear life, but you can feel that extra power. So I like that. Yeah, the phone is just slightly off from the controller as far as speeds go. Phone says 85% on the battery. The display, keep calling it controller, the display says 100%, and my Ranger says 87%. So I think I'm gonna trust the phone and the Ranger. Obviously, yeah, this it does. It enhances the riding experience here. I like it. Oh yeah, one other observation. I don't know if it's worth the $700 price tag, but you don't have to go into the Super73 app and switch to mode 4 and save it every time. You just fire this thing up and you're getting high performance. You know, that solves a minor inconvenience, but an inconvenience nonetheless. So, initial impressions of the Handlworks controller upgrade for my Super73 S2 is it definitely feels like an upgrade. Now, it's not like a hold on for dear life controller upgrade, but it does give you more top end. It does give you a slightly increased speed, but most of all, it felt like a little bit smoother ride. And that's something to say because the Super73 controller is one of the most smooth controllers that I've ever felt on an e-bike, and I have ridden a lot of e-bikes thanks to this channel. It was easy to install, it was easy to troubleshoot, it was easy to upgrade, you know, to install that flash. I am excited to learn more about the Handlworks controller. I feel like I'm just scratching the surface. So if you have any information on it, if you are a veteran Handlworks rider, let me know in the comments down below. Also, I bought this with my hard-earned YouTube money. They did not send this to me, but if you are looking for a discount, I will shout out a fellow YouTuber, Chavez. He has a discount code. I will put that in the description below. Show him some love and support because I think he was one of the OG people who talked about Handlworks, and he has that discount for you. I've never really done that before on this channel, so I hope it works out. I will say the price point of the Handlworks controller might seem a little bit high to some of you, but if you're looking at squeezing out just a little bit more performance of your Super73, it might be worth the upgrade. My one area of concern of my controller cutting out last night on my quick test ride after I installed it, I didn't experience that today, and I wonder if it's because I have the dual battery flash on the controller and I was only running one battery. So that's something interesting. If that's true, then I'll always have to be running dual batteries so I don't experience that again. I don't know if that's the case, but that's the only difference between last night's ride and today's ride, which was a much longer ride. Anyway, that does it for this video. If you liked it, go ahead and hit that like button. Comment down below, is this something that you would add to your Super73? They also have solutions for the P51 and the Zeus bikes as well. And of course, while you're down there, hit that subscribe button. Have a great rest of your day.